What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Nerdy, where we bring you all things nerdy. Now, for today, we're bringing you a online battle for Total War Rome 2. I will be playing as Sparta against my opponent, who will be playing as Pontus. Now, this was kind of a medium funds battle. I'll explain to you my strategy here, but you can already see I outnumber him. For pure infantry, I don't outnumber him, but I did bring a couple slingers, help whittle down his troops. And my opponent did get the advantage as far as starting position. I will be beginning down here at the bottom of the hill, whereas he'll be at the top of the hill. So we're going to go ahead and throw it in slow motion here and kind of introduce you here to my army. Here at the beginning, my kind of strategy, seeing as I initially thought it was going to be more of a steep hill I was going to be attacking, but I kind of wanted to set up here in a spearhead formation. Here at the beginning, or the tip point being, I have my pikemen, my Paracoy pikemen. Again, initial thought, I'd leave them in my phalanx, so they would be marching forward. Here on both sides, I have my Spartan hoplites. They're not the most elite unit Sparta has to offer, but they're a very good priced unit, and they have a lot of good stats about them. Very good, hardy defensive unit. Then back here, I just have my Hilo slingers. They're again not the best ranged unit, and not. Sparta doesn't get a whole lot of ranged units as it is. They're very restricted on a lot of unit types. But these were the cheapest ones they had. I decided to go ahead and throw them in here just to get some pecking shots. And then I have a Hero of Sparta general unit there in the middle. Over here, I decided to go light on Cav. I wasn't sure what I wanted to accomplish with them, but I do have Citizen Cav. They're my melee unit. Citizen Cav are not that great. You can see there by their stats how low they are. And then I have Terratine Cav. Throw some spears, do a little bit of damage or something. Go ahead and throw it here into play. The beginning of this battle is pretty slow. My opponent decided to just sit here. He was a very nice guy. We had a good conversation about different things. I thought he had some sort of trap. Maybe this was just in the hosted battle section. I thought maybe he turned it on. He was a defender and he had some traps set up here or over here or something. So I was a little confused as to what was going on with that. Now, as far as my opponent's army, up front here he's got 2 peltists, and then he's got 3 pikemen here in the center. So I'm outnumbered in pikemen. I want to be careful of that. I don't want to head them on. That's kind of a bad thing to go charging into. So we don't want to be coming here at the side, here at the front. That's why you can kind of see I'm swinging a little bit more. Ooh. Well, they used to have the. They took it away. They had a nice little paint section here where you could draw. Anyway, I digress. So that's why I'm going to be heading kind of swinging around here to try and come up towards this way, make him reshift in this manner so then my cavalry can kind of come around on the side. So here's his peltis coming forward. Again, my whole initial strategy when I was building this army, seeing the map, I had a feeling that was going to be the case. I wanted to kind of set up a pike front, so essentially a spear. The spear, the point of the spear is deadly. The sides can cut you, but the point is where it's at. So I'm just bringing my slingers forward to fire at his peltists. Again, I outnumber him as far as skirmishing goes, so just kind of poking around here. I'm starting to bring. Here in a second, I'll bring my cav around to kind of draw his horses over more. He outnumbers me as far as that goes. Now here, I'm keeping them all aggroed on this pike unit. I kind of want to whittle them down. As soon as these guys start moving forward, I'm going to start aiming at them. Now, while I may outnumber him, he has more of a quality unit. These spearmen do more damage. So at this point, I realize my slingers are getting torn up. I need to push forward. So I'm gonna go throw it here in slow motion. So again, over here, his cavalry instantly comes in. I try and lock them down with my citizen cav. They get a little bit of a charge on my Terratine cav, but don't get any kills. And I may start to dispatch some spear units off from my main unit over to the side to kind of give them a reinforcement. You know, they don't have a bonus versus cav, I believe. No. They don't have a bonus versus cav, but they're still going to have a better chance at knocking out his horsemen. So this unit stabilizes. I'm bringing my pikes forward thinking, alright, we need to get this going. 2 pike units facing each other, it's not going to be too bad. You know, they'll poke at each other. Throw them into phalanx mode. Not realizing I left large flank open, and he's going to get a nice charge here right as I start to try and shift. So, mistake on my part. So I go ahead and realize, well, they're going to lock down. I'll get my general's unit in there. We need to move forward with my pikemen and try and poke down his swords, because his swords will demolish my pikemen first and foremost, as well as demolish most of my hoplites. They have a bonus versus infantry, whereas my hoplites are more of a defensive, strong unit. They have a great attack. I did throw one upgrade on each of them, I believe. Maybe not. Maybe just the one. So they're charging out here. I'm going to break one unit off to go meet them. Break this one out. General's unit chased off them. So I do have some pikemen left. I need to go ahead and try and form up a line as best as I can. All the meanwhile, my slingers are taking some shots. Now, when I brought the slingers, I brought them more as a diversionary unit. Something for him to break around my flanks and go charge and just kill, focus on them while I'm doing something else. So that didn't happen. So the whole time these guys are taking shots. You know, this one already has 20 kills, 17, 8. Not a lot, but it's something. They're whittling down these pike units here. So I leave these guys here in phalanx mode. This unit's gonna die here in a moment anyway. He probably has a better advantage because he's got more of a thick rank. But I'm gonna go ahead and push in there. I don't want them coming over here doing anything against my main units. I do bring my general's unit around and get a nice little back charge on those pikemen. And I'm starting to wrap up the cav game over here. My Terratine cav are in the mix of things. They're not going to hold very, very well, but I use them to help lock things down, and I got a nice hoplite charge on over there. So here is the tactical overview. We kind of got a nice straight line as far as units go. You know, we have a defined battle line, but my general's unit again is starting to get around in his backside. When I bring my general units, I tend to pick a hardier general so I can use him in combat to get around my opponent, or lock down a flank, or something along those lines. So my general is doing good. He'll be able to mop up those pikemen no problem. They're not in phalanx mode, I believe. A little bit. This guy. That's intense. Standing there with a spear in his face. Initially they had got onto the side of this unit, but that's alright. So my opponent has left these pikemen here, all the while taking shots at him. 25 kills, 49, 49, they add up. For a unit that I spent very little money on and planned to have them be a perishable distraction, they've already paid themselves off by getting the kills they have. I bring this pike unit here into the back of this other pike unit to kind of help mop it up as quickly as I can. Since my general kind of got caught out front here, it was my recollection he got more of the side, but since he's here on the front, yeah. So about this time, this flank is being wrapped up. And in fact, this may be a bit of a corrupted replay, because I had my Tarantine Cav initially, and his Noble Blood Cav had less men than that. At any rate, for the most part, this side, it's correct. You can see power's kind of swinging back towards my favor. So he does charge over here finally at my Peltus, or my Slingers, but instead of going towards him, he turns, yeah, right there, he's turning towards my Hoplites, gets a nice rear charge. They're in formation attack, so they're spread out, whereas he's in a thick unit, so he's only really getting an effective charge here in the middle. He's going to break a lot of them, get some decent kills off of them, but they're spread out. And it was about that time I took him off formation attack, so you see these guys here on the flank who are holding formation start coming to the mid. His general's dead. This is about the time I'm starting to lose my general. My hoplites will quick make work of those peltists and be able to get in. Again, these guys the whole time taking shots, breaking them off, trying to whittle down his general quickly. Let's just throw it into play here. And this again, starting to get more flanking shots on these guys. Keeping them in this phalanx mode is great, but they lose a lot of their bonuses. They're more tight together, so my Peltus, or my Slingers, I apparently need to bring Peltus because I just need them. My Peltus, damn, see what I mean? My Slingers are going to start getting a lot more shots on them, taking them down a little bit more. And now I've completely wrapped up my right flank, freeing them up. Now it's just a matter of mopping things up. My general is dead, but that's alright. So let's take a look here. 35, 46, 28. It's a little odd. Sorry about that. Could have swore they were a little bit higher just a few minutes ago. So, good game with my opponent. We'll just throw it fast forward here. We just go in, clean up. You see my hoplites really had the brunt kills of everything. Slingers paid for themselves in what they did. They did add in a flanking shot, so it helped demoralize my opponent quicker. But good game, my opponent, and thanks for watching. Until next time, stay nerdy.